these protests, which started in Tehran at the beginning of the week, appear to be spreading, and the crackdown from Iran's security forces appears to be intensifying. So what started as a protest by merchants in Tehran's bazaar shutting their shops, angry about high inflation and about the Iranian rial crashing to a record low against the US dollar, has now spread to multiple cities, and the merchants have been joined by students at universities and pretty much anyone unhappy with the government's repressive policies, and they allege extensive corruption and mismanagement of many issues. So this follows a number of crises which have weakened Iran's clerical regime, notably a terrible water shortage in Tehran in recent months, and in June the 12-day war which Israel started by attacking Iran's nuclear facilities and ballistic missile sites, and that led to Iranian cities, particularly Tehran, being bombed on almost a daily basis, and a number of civilians being killed, and Israel killing a number of senior Iranian officials and scientists. The Iranian military was completely unable to counter Israel's air power, and the Iranian population felt absolutely defenseless in the face of Israel's attacks. There's also been repression by the Iranian state after the war, with Iranian police and security arresting hundreds of people, accusing them of spying for Israel, and putting a large number of people to death as well. So these are the most widespread and dangerous major protests since the Woman Life Freedom Marches in 2022 and 2023. Now, the Iranian government has brutally repressed protests in the past, killing hundreds of people, and rights groups and protesters in Iran fear that might happen again. But what's different about these protests, according to analysts and people we're speaking to in Iran, is just that the situation is so much more desperate. People say they can't afford food, inflation has reached really crisis levels, services are starting to drop off, and the government has just proved unable to respond to this situation. So more and more people are desperate, and there's real doubts about whether the Iranian security forces are going to be able to contain the protests this time around.